On Monday night, I met with members of our parish reopening committee and the vestry, and together we made a very difficult but important decision to take a step back on the in-person, indoor component of our worship during this Advent and Christmas. I'll still be here on Sunday mornings to lead worship. Douglas will be here to play the organ and lead us in music. And we'll have a couple of readers for as long as we can to read one of the lessons and the prayers of the people. The rest of the congregation will be on Zoom, and we'll continue celebrating the Eucharist together. After the service, in fact, I'll bring the consecrated bread to the door of the church where you can walk by on Devon Street to receive communion if you'd like. This will be very different from the March and April shutdown. In a sense, it will be a better worship experience. It will be easier. We've done it before. In a sense, it will be harder because we've done it before. When I was in high school, I used to run track pretty competitively, and my main event was the mile, 4 loops around a 400-meter track, plus another 9 meters at the end. I always thought that there was a sense in which the 4th and final lap was the easiest, even though there was a sense in which it was the hardest. You'd already run most of the race. Every system in your body was shutting down. Your muscles were locked up with lactic acid. You could barely move or breathe. And yet here you were. The end was in sight. It wasn't like the 3rd lap when you were feeling awful and still had half the race to go. You were in the 4th and final lap. I think many of us feel as though that's the position we're in now. Most of us won't get a vaccine in the early waves, but within the next 6 months, it seems, a large fraction of our population will have been able to receive a vaccine. As spring and summer come again, the virus will recede with its seasonal effects. And so there is a sense in which we're in that final lap. The most important thing we can do right now is to finish well, not to fall down, as my father-in-law says, on the wrong side of the finish line. Not to run the risk of having to quarantine our whole church, let alone the risk of infection, serious illness, or death for one of our members. Online worship is difficult, it's sad, it's hard to engage with, and I imagine you're as tired of it as I am. But it won't be forever. We will be back here together. In this season of Advent that I'm already prepared for here is a season of anticipation and waiting in a difficult time for a brighter future. There's no year when Advent will ring more true for me than this one. Before Advent, though, we still have Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's hard to be thankful this year, and it's hard to say you're thankful for technology, thankful for online church. I have to say, though, even 10 years ago, this all would have been impossible. We simply would not have seen most of our members for 9 months because we didn't all have cameras attached to supercomputers walking around in our pockets with us. It's a remarkable thing to be able to say that I have relationships with some of you who I've never seen face to face. That's an incredible thing, and it's a gift for us. So this year, as sad and difficult as it is to only be together online, I hope that we can take advantage of it and give thanks for that gift of seeing one another face to face, even if our faces are very small.